Hopefully we see Renny soon.
That sounds good.
You hear a little music with that too?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Awesome. I'm just gonna make sure everything's looking good. Yep.
Step away for 1 second.
Good morning, Renny.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Jace is on. He just stepped away for a second, but we're all good to go on that end.
Cool. How's my audio? Good?
I think so.
Yeah. Hey, did we ever figure out that? Obviously, I think you did because you started posting back up again. What happened over on Spotify?
Yes, I figured it out. I didn't update you, but I figured it out. It actually had to do with I changed the file format of the audio upload, and Spotify only accepts MP3 files.
Oh, well, that does that.
Yep. So fixed it though, and we're good to go.
Cool. Right on.
How's it going, Renny?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. Right on.
Get your voice again.
That's good.
Oop.
Oop.
You're good. I'm just turning down the music a little bit so you guys can chat.
Hey, how you doing, bud? How you been?
Yeah, pretty good. Can't complain. Just got back from vacation, so a little bit refreshed now.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, we went down to Florida to see my wife's parents for a week or so.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it was a nice getaway. Well overdue.
Good for you. How's the day job going?
Yeah, good. Busy.
You know,
busy.
I don't even know if I told you. I might have, and I apologize if I did. Our daughter is now a aircraft maintenance officer. So she's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she got her butter bar. So she's
nice.
She's based back in Virginia. So she's on the. I know the F-22s are on base, but she's working primarily F-35s.
Okay. Yeah, I was in the 22 program for 14 and a half years, and yeah, I was about to go into the 35s, but I just ended up sticking with the 22s. But yeah, much respect for maintenance officers. They have to be on point.
Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a sharp girl. Are you still in?
Yeah. I hit 18 next month.
Wow, good for you. You still in the 22 program?
No, I'm in the MQ9 program now.
Oh, cool. How you like that?
It's different. It's very different. Not what I expected initially, but now I've grown to respect it a lot.
There you go.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely quite a beast.
Yeah, right. No lie. So here's what we're gonna do this morning: is we got 1 minute and we'll launch it. And yet the questions, there might be a time we're gonna try to keep it right at about 45 minutes.
Okay.
An hour. And so, but really anything that you want to go into, Chris and I are just going to open it up with a little bit, just kind of back and forth, because what that really does is give people time to get on before we introduce you. And then we'll go right into, I'm going to have you introduce yourself. Then I've got some stuff standing. I got some props.
Okay.
So then I'll bring you into it. So
all right.
kind of fun. But other than that, we're just here to kind of give you some exposure. Hopefully, at the end, those last questions, because you've done such an amazing job, and that can transpire over into the detailers that are trying to make it, in the trenches.
Understood.
So hopefully, we give them some nuggets.
I hear that.
Cool. Well, here we go. So another 13 seconds, and we'll launch it.
Sounds good.
Good morning, Chris. How's it going, bud?
I am doing good. I I got dogs in the background that are attacking my brother that's here in the backyard doing a little work for me. And so hopefully we keep them under control during this. But
probably not.
Probably not.
Mine were running around the shop here just until about 2 minutes ago, and I had to boot them out because they're having way too much fun. So what's on your shirt? We always, he's got a different shirt on.
Lamborghini Miura, the most beautiful car ever made.
Really?
Absolutely.
You own one of those?
Anybody can challenge that with me. I'll stand up, stick up for it.
Do you own one of those too?
No. If I did, you and I probably wouldn't be sitting here chatting.
No. That hurt. I take that personal. So,
well, I'd either be out driving it or have enough money to where I wouldn't need to work much.
I even got a parking spot that you could put it. Yeah. It probably have about 2,000 miles every time you come up a little more than what you had before, but that works, doesn't it?
Yeah. You got to keep them running.
There you go. So, hey, Renny Doyle podcast today brought to you by PNS Detailing Products. They just dropped a couple new products again. Exciting news. And they took and have a retail, more of a trial size of Clearview, the glass cleaner. And then also Dynamic, one of my favorite dressings.
Yeah.
Because Chris knows, man. Now, Jace, I grew up in Southern California, about 38 miles from downtown Los Angeles, in a pretty poor community. A lot of lowriders. I did a lot of cutting on lowriders.
Okay.
So I say this, and I hope it doesn't offend people, but my kids have always said that they just can't get my tires out of the ghetto where I grew up because they are ghetto shine. Is that? And you go down. I took Diane down through my old neighborhood just about a year ago.
Yeah.
It was funny because I said, now watch this. You're going to see all these small houses with really cool cars. But all of them, all the tires look like mine do, and they did. Everything was dressed, to the nines, real shiny. What I love about Dynamic is that you can adjust the dressing. This one comes 4-to-1, ready to use. You buy it in bulk; it's really good. So, hey, we've got a really special guest on now. This dude right here, we've met him several times, and I think he's one of the gentlemen of the industry. But more so is that for today, at least, he's the giant slayer because he's come into play with a product. Now, I'm going to go back. So this was one of my first bottles.
Nice.
And then we graduated up because within about a week, we decided we're going to use too much.
Oh man, that's an OG.
Yeah, and then I didn't want to take in. We started getting the gallons and refilling, and then the Last Cut Plus naturally, we're pretty addicted to that. So.
I brought my props too. I've got mine here as well.
Look at that, man.
Unfortunately, my last cut is almost empty. So
yeah.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, exactly. You can offer it in tote sizes too, Chris. Just so, hey, we want to take and have our guest introduce himself. He's a great guy. I'll go in and brag about him throughout the podcast. But Jace, you're up, buddy.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thanks for having me, guys. I'm 36. I was born in New York, but I was raised in the Caribbean, so I grew up in a small island called Antigua. So I was there for 17 years, and then I moved up to the U.S. When I was almost 18 at the time to join the Air Force, and married to my beautiful wife, Sharita Price, and we have 2 kids. And like I said, we are currently in the military station in Clovis, New Mexico. So we just move around as needed and just riding out till the final days in the military so I can go full force with the business. Right on. Good for you. So thank you for your service and pretty amazing. You had an amazing career in the Air Force too. We were just talking offline and a lot of it I knew. And, our daughter's working closely with what you do with her career in the Air Force. So Good stuff. So let's jump into this. And, on a personal level, I met this guy. I came across the product when it was pretty new. And I was like, the first thing I looked at is compounding glaze. Hold on, man. Is it a glaze? Fillers in it, right? And so a buddy of mine that I trust a lot said, nah, man, it doesn't have any fillers in it. This dude's out of Las Vegas. At the time, you're out of Las Vegas, correct? Yes, I was.
We developed it. And, I jumped in. I bought matter of fact, I didn't even buy a bottle. I bought 4 bottles for the training facility, and we put it into action literally days later.
Mm-hmm.
And I became a really big fan. I hadn't met you yet, and then I became a bigger fan, which is testimony. When here's the deal: is that this guy is among he's with the biggies. He's got products that even compete with us, and here I am promoting him. Why? First off, because once I met him, I realized he's a really good guy. And it doesn't matter if it's competing, at least to me, and I wish the industry would get more like this. It doesn't matter if you've got a competing product or competitor. If they're good people and they got a good product, why not promote them? All it's going to do is help you both. So this is a case where this dude comes in. We already loved his product. I met him. Then I think it was the second or third time I got to meet your wife, and then it was a complete package. To find out that you served our country, that you've got kids. It's just you're an all-around good guy with a great product. And we're not lying. If you're living underneath a rock and you haven't tried this product for some reason, you're gonna take and you're gonna realize what we're saying when you use it, because it's the real deal. So let's go into your background. Do you have any? People in your family, are they business minded like you?
Yes, yeah. So I did have my dad. He tried a few businesses back in the day, mainly photography, and there was never really any business direction or business and anything business direction wise in my family growing up. They kind of just did whatever, but there was never no straight direction. But what my parents kind of gave me was, mainly my dad, he taught me I needed to work for what I wanted, because we weren't wealthy, we didn't have a lot of money, but they basically showered me with values to build onto whichever direction I wanted to go into. So my dad, he never stressed. I never seen him get upset or freak out about anything. So seeing him do that kind of put me in a mindset to where I didn't need to stress if things didn't go the way I wanted it to go. And I kind of kept that with me for my entire life and stuck with that. And my mom, she really just taught me to respect everybody, because you really never know what someone can teach you if you just give them a few minutes of your time. No matter how they look, where they come from, you can always learn something from somebody. So she taught me from the get-go to always respect everyone. And I still keep those values with me to this day. And that's really the background of who I am today.
Well, I'll tell you, it's great advice, because so many people, and I think you probably see it, we definitely see it in the Guard. And I'm not sure if you see it in the Air Force, but, it seems like everybody picks on the younger generation coming up, right? But it just seems like this generation's lost the value of what people can offer as far as wisdom. Yes. You're a young guy, but in your career in the Air Force, pretty seasoned. You've got seasoned eyes. You're a veteran. You've seen a lot, and it's funny because we do the same thing. It's instant gratification, and nothing comes instantly.
Yep.
Death and taxes. It's pretty much instant. But and so take us through. So you're coming up. What took you into detailing? What took you to take in the early days before this was even a concept? What brought you down into making cars shiny and look good?
Well, so back in the day when I was living on the island, we had an old Toyota Corolla. It was like 15 years old. Of course, I wanted parents to have nice cars and all that stuff, but it wasn't possible. So I remember I was probably maybe 12 or 13 at the time, and we couldn't afford detailing products. So I would just go through the closets and the garage and trying to find something that would make stuff shiny. And I remember finding some motor oil, and my dad's on the Corolla has some plastic pieces. I'm like, wait, I wonder if this will make it shiny, because I need something to make it shiny. So I put some motor oil on it to make it, all it looked great when he left the house. But when he came back, it was white from all the dust.
Right.
But I was just fixed on trying to make our vehicle look as good as it could, back in the day with what I had, which was not very much. But I would wash it, I'll try to make it look as good as I could. And then, that transitioned into me owning my very first vehicle when I joined the Air Force. And that was back in 2004 when I bought my first car. And that's when the detailing started. I would buy, I had like 5 or 6 products at a time. I thought I was doing something, and then I just kept going, and it was really a hobby. And I met a guy, Michael Plosser, when I got to Las Vegas, and I stopped by his house, and he was like, "Yeah, Jace, I see you into detail, and see if you want to talk about it. Stop by my house and we'll talk." So at the time, I had like 5 products, and I thought I was really doing something. And I walked into that guy's garage, and he had like lines of product like across like his garage walls. I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not doing anything right now, so tell me which direction I need to go in. And he was like, all right, buy this, buy that, and practice, do this, do that, and that's really where it all began.
Wow. So now you're detailing at it's funny because we always say, I always tell people, watch this, wait for it, because once a young service member hits E3 or E4, man, the cars start coming out.
Yep.
The paycheck comes in, and they're dead broke, but man, they got a nice set of wheels,
Yes.
And it's still today. I love going on anytime I'm on post or anything like that. I love looking at the youngsters, with their nice cars, because they don't have $4 left after they make the insurance payment. In the car.
Yep.
But they're in a nice set of wheels. So you meet this gentleman, and it kind of opens your eyes. So in the back of your mind, I mean, at that point, did you have any idea or conception of starting your own product?
No idea. I mean, because that really got me into the paint correction side of things. And once I got a following for paint correction, a few reached out to me to ask to come teach classes on how to do paint correction. But of course, at the time, I was working out of my garage in Vegas. It was 120, 140, 150 degrees. And a lot of things I was using just didn't work as I thought it should. So I was mixing stuff together to make it work, to my liking. So I thought to myself, why would I go teach a class, with someone else's stuff not working exactly how I wanted it to work? So why not try to make my own and see if I can develop it for myself? Because initially it was just supposed to be for me. I didn't think it would, be for the rest of the world. But after I found a chemist, because it took me about a little bit over 4 months to find a chemist, numerous phone calls, numerous no's, just trying until I finally got a yes to someone who was open to hearing my voice as someone brand new in the industry, and trying to tell a chemist who had 20 plus years in the industry how to do their job. So I got a lot of no's until finally found that one that said, all right, yeah, I'll listen. I'll listen to what you want to do. And we made a few revisions, and he's like, well, Jace, I think we made something, man. I'm like, well, I'll send it to some friends and see if I'm not crazy. So I had some detailing friends, at different parts of the world. So I sent it to Hawaii, I sent it to Norway, I sent it to Australia, just to test, all different climates to see if it worked in all different climates. And they all responded, hey, Jace, I need more. Yeah. Like, really? Like, you do? Like, for real? I'm not crazy? And they're like, no, like, we need more. Like, it's good. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll launch it and see what happens then.
Well, Chris, I think that we can both say that, because my bottles.
Yeah.
My bottles.
I need more.
Man, Jason, that bad news, still hearing that. So, a lot of people don't realize that is that I think it's brilliant too. Listen, let me give you some credit. Is that I tested with McGuire's, kind of a big company. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty big company, Yep. PNS, pretty big little company, 60 years old this year. Went in partners with them. And a lot of people don't realize that if, and I applaud you, because you have got to send products to every corner of the country and the world, because if you don't, it may work really good in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. But the humidity that is up in the Northeast or in Hawaii may be a game changer, and the product doesn't work at all.
Yep, and exactly.
So to have that foresight, that's pretty cool, man. I mean,
thank you.
That's pretty cool. So now so what year when you first sent that out to all your friends to kind of test out, and you got validation back that it was there? What year was that? What are we talking about?
That was in 2013. Actually, 2014 is when that when that happened.
And now let's jump ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's 2014. You've got this product that's some really good detailers, some people you trust. They like it. So what's the next step? Where'd you go?
So my next step was really to get with my chemist, and I told him, like, hey, I know I plan on doing this, for myself, but it seems like there's potential to, have a market for this worldwide. And he's like, well, if you want to, push for it, then we can, because I didn't really have the funding for it, because I was using the money that I made from just regular detailing to pour it back into the business. I basically reinvested the money into myself. And it was a big risk, just looking at it, from any perspective. It was a huge risk for me, but I'm like, you know what, I got to try it and see what happens. And despite, I did get some individuals that tried to tell me, no, it doesn't make any sense to release another product because the market's saturated, and I'm just gonna be wasting my time and money. But me personally, I saw a hole in the market that needed to be filled, because I personally had a problem, with some things I was using, and there was no other product that did what I needed to do at the time. So just like any good business model, what do you see an issue? Yes, I see an issue. Well, can you fix it? If you can, go for it, because that is really what sells something, is being able to fix an issue that the world has. I mean, even if, yes, I did get some negative response from one person, that's just one person. I mean, there's the rest of the world that's still available to you at your fingertips these days with e-commerce. So I kind of started to believe in myself and took a chance, because I knew I was fixing a problem that I had. I hoped that it would have fixed a problem that everyone else had, or many others had. And I just took a shot. Really, that's really what it came down to.
So let's take that back and put it into small businesses service businesses that are listening to this. Is that, first off, Jace might not say this, but I'm going to for him. His product's not the cheapest product. Mm-hmm. It's not inexpensive. Yet I got a cabinet full of it. And I'm going to say, Jace, that probably, I don't know, Chris, do you think there's anybody that comes to training that doesn't buy it? I mean,
I don't think so. I mean, everybody I talk to has some in their arsenal, and if they don't, we usually tell them they should.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
It is that good. Now, is it the Holy Grail? No. There's times that my product works. There's times that I'm a product, but I'm going to tell you, it's in my hands all the time. But here's my point to all this, is that you might be listening to this and you might be saying, man, I'm a detailer. I'm pushing my services for cheaper than the other guys to try to get business. No, Jace just hit it, man. Solve a problem, be good at what you do, and charge for it. Because to dig yourself out of that cheap hole, man, he wouldn't be here. Jace, if you mispriced this and we're making this much off of it, could you go anywhere?
Probably not.
No. And so my point is that here's your product that contends. And listen, let me set the story straight too. It's not that it's expensive. There's other compounds and products that are just as expensive or more expensive. Here's the point. This is a guy that had a dream and a vision and a need to develop a product. And he went out and developed a really good product in a market that's saturated with some absolute Godzillas of industry. And he's taking them on head to head. And a matter of fact, you know what a lot of them are doing? They're going, what is this product? Who the hell is this dude? And you know why? Because he took them on. Don't be afraid to take him on, man. This dude's David and Goliath. He's coming in and he's worked his product into an industry that's saturated. Guess what? If you're in Southern California and you're a mobile detailer, you're in the same position. You got a saturated market. Mm-hmm. You want to stand up? Be better. You don't need to be cheaper. You need to be better. So, Jay, I love that. So now let's talk about some of the we've talked a lot about the testimonials and so forth. Mm-hmm. So have you gotten any, and I don't want to word this in the wrong way, but again, Godzillas, you've entered in Tokyo with, it's Godzilla's territory, man.
Yeah.
You've come in with this product. Has there been any of the big guys kind of push back at you at all, or are you just focused and on your own mission?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, which I mean, I've been really surprised by it. I mean, I've been reached out to by other big companies, but it's mainly to congratulate me on having a good product.
How cool is that?
Which is not what I expected. I mean, it's like I get more negative responses from reviewers than the actual owners of the companies.
Yeah, it's because they're gypsies. They don't know what the hell.
It's crazy, but I mean, but honestly, like I really focus on organic growth, because especially being a new company, I didn't want to spend too much crazy money on marketing and have it in everybody's face. Then it gets in the wrong hands. So my choice was to start slowly and build a solid foundation, get it in the hands that actually understand the product and are able to answer questions based on that product, and not just say, oh, you know what, it didn't work, use this instead. So I personally chose to slow the growth and just build a solid foundation and not, just blast out there to everybody. So basically anyone who used it, it was based on someone they know, tell them, hey, you should use this, or you should give this a shot. And that way, if they have any questions, they go back to the same person. Hey, this didn't work how I wanted it. And that person can say, hey, well, did you try this? Did you do that? And even my distributors, I mean, I let them try the product first before I say, yes, let's go ahead and start a contract. So I want them to use it. I want them to say if they like it or not. If they like it, then we can move forward. If not, then I can advise you on how to get the most out of it. And then usually they end up liking it, and then we move forward. So,
we got the same with PNS and the double black line. A lot of the same philosophies is that, and I wish I could get this into service businesses' minds. What you just said, a couple things. Organic growth is, what's that mean to you when you say organic growth? So you can get. I want to hear it out of your mouth. What's that mean to you to do organic growth versus kind of a forced growth?
I mean, to me, is really letting the consumer or whoever I'm selling it to praise the product, not praising myself by marketing. It's the best thing in the world, and you need to use this because it's better than anything else you've tried. I prefer to have that word come out of a customer's or the consumer's mouth, and not say it myself. So you never hear me say I have the best product in the world, because I just can't bring myself to say that. But if someone else says it, then that means 1,000 times more than if I said it myself.
Amen. We're the same way. Is that I will tell you my products are good.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the best? Boy, it depends. I'm going to let you make the decision.
Yep.
I will tell you this. I think they're the best in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think yours are the best in certain situations, an awful lot of them. So, So now you went from, okay, so we've got the Last Cut Plus. There's a lot of detailers right now, probably because of you, going into products, myself going into products.
Mm-hmm.
What message them? A lot of them think it's an easy road, and they watch this, and we never want to discourage them, right? I mean, if that's your dream, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Two living examples of detailers, guys that were behind the machine that have gotten product lines. But with that, it's not a rosy road. It's not. You better get some money, and you better get a lot. So what's your message to them on a, we want to encourage them, do it, man. If that's your idea, put the plan together and do it. But what's the other side that they don't see a lot of the times? We're going completely off script, by the way.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, they really can't be afraid to fail or invest time and money into themselves. Because it may not be perfect right off the bat, but you will need to have that passion behind whatever you're doing to see it through. Because it's not a simple process, as you know, it takes time, it takes a lot of patience, and they just need to be able to accept failure at some point and learn from that failure and push forward to see the product to where they want it to be in the end. I mean, like you said, a lot of people see it and they think it's all a bed of roses, but there's a lot that comes along with it. The 2-3 o'clock, emails, from someone saying, "Oh, this didn't work." And me personally, with customer service is one of my biggest things. I will stay up at if I get woken up by my phone at 2, 3 in the morning, I will respond right away at 2, 3 in the morning because I want to see my product get to where it needs to be.
Right on. Well, I think it's getting there. So here's the other side of it too, is both of us, when we launched in, and I think this is a big takeaway, don't quit your day job. Both of us have got financial backing from what we do, 9 to 5, so to say. And listen, if you're a detailer or you're a PDR guy or a PPF guy and you're going to go into a specialty, keep that going. That's what you do, man. That's paying the bills.
I agree.
Have a slow roll. Rome wasn't built in a day. I hate to use that, but it wasn't. It took some time. And but failure, boy, if you mess this up, it could sink your whole ship. And so, make sure you go into this, all knowing. And so how speaking very frankly, how's it been to survive this? I mean, you go into it, you come in with the last cut. I mean, there's modeling issues, right? You gotta source things, and then there's demand. When you get a product like yours, we haven't talked about this, but I bet there's been more than one time where you've gone, oh shit, how the hell am I going to fulfill these orders? And that sounds like a bad problem, but it's a problem.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I finally got a shipment in. I got a in check today, so I can ship products out.
There you go.
I mean, it's not easy. It definitely takes. I get a lot of help from my wife as well. She kind of keeps me, on the right track with certain things. So it definitely helps to have someone behind you that you can trust, and respect to help you along the way.
I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be a quarter of the man I am without Diane. Working together can be tough. So I mean, Diane quits once a year. I quit once a year. I fire her once a year. I get fired.
Actually, she tries to quit about once a month. I tell her no.
Yeah. I think you're better than that now. You've helped out with that a lot, Chris. But that background, and again, I think that brings up a whole another topic too, is because that's your queen. I mean, that's the mother of your children, not just a business partner. And there's been a lot of times because we've had rapid growth in everything we do. I've been really blessed. And I work real hard, and everything we've done, I won't say everything because we've had failures, but the things that we've really set out for is we're much like you. We've killed it. We've gone in and slayed the giants, right?
Congrats to you too. Congrats to you as well.
It's pretty cool. But with that, backside of that is it creates a me I'm not too happy with because I get stressed. It's a lot of pressure, and sometimes that pressure comes home. And it's really important that you're able to not take that pressure home and remember that your spouse is your spouse. It's business partner second. You guys are parents and lovers before anything else. And
absolutely.
I think that's a hard lesson I had to learn. And Diane's helped teach me that lesson. And I'm thankful. And I met your wife, and we're both lucky guys. And you can see she's very engaged. But you know what? It's cool. When I met your wife the first time, you know what I could see she was really engaged into? You. She totally bought into you. She totally supported you. And that's pretty cool to see, man. That spouse, because I think it tells you something about the man too. And so I think that's why I've always been an admirer, is because there's multi fronts. So hey, let's take you into some good takeaways. These are the points where I want to take and now bring in some good ideas that maybe some of these will transpire into the detailers and the service providers listening and help their business out. So let's go into that now, Chris. We got a new thing, Jason. You don't even know about the. Well, you kind of do because you saw the notes, but kind of our halfway point through we've got a new sponsor. So the last cut, I think we've been a good commercial for you so far.
Yeah. Here you go.
That's
Show
it.
them up again.
That's it. My bottle's almost empty, by the way.
I got you.
This stuff is awesome. I actually just used the last cut in a blueberry pad the other day on a Toyota 4Runner that I finished up. It turned out great.
That's awesome.
But I have a question about the product real quick and your product line. Is there anything new in the future? Is that something you're considering? Are you working on other stuff, or are you just kind of focused on the two compounds?
Oh, no, I'll eventually have an entire line, but my main focus right now is on the finishing polish, because I think that's going to be the next step. That's going to take my brand to the next level. So it's been over 3 years now that we've been working on it, and we've started over 4 times already. But I think we're getting pretty close to getting it to where I need to be. But really, I need to get out of my own way, because the more you know about how things should work, the more issues you find with it during the process. So sometimes you just kind of need to not, shoot for 100% every single time, because it'll almost never get there. I mean, I'll even take it back to the Last Cut Plus. I was in the garage with a good friend of mine, Steven, and I was working on my own truck, and I did a section with the Last Cut. Then I did a section with the prototype, the Last Cut Plus at the time, and he was there with me watching. And as soon as I got done with the pass with the Last Cut Plus, because the paint was a little bit harder, so it responded better to the Plus. And he was like, "Jace, like, is that the prototype, or is that like the finished thing?" I'm like, "I'm still working on it. Yeah, I think we can get it just a little bit better." He's like, "Jace, you need to release that damn thing." I'm sorry, I never. You need to release it. I'm like,
oh, you're fine. This guy Renny, he says much worse. Don't worry.
Okay. he's like, just do it, man. I'm like, you know what? I think you're right. Like, I think it's time to let go. And I did it, and obviously, it worked. But there will be more products in the future. But I wanted to finish that finishing polish first before I started going into the the tire shines and all the extra stuff. I just want to make sure that base was there and solid before we moved on to other stuff.
Absolutely. So, Scott out of Maine just sent and I usually don't watch this, but I'll kind of answer it is it multi-use? And we found it really effective on really, especially gel coats that are in pretty good shape, but you can just get an extreme depth out of them. We've worked with that. We've worked with fiberglass vehicles, composites, constantly in training, plastic trim and so forth that's painted over. And we found it to be really multi-use and very friendly to all. So take me from, so you developed the Last Cut, which all of us were pretty blown away. And then all of a sudden we hear rumors. I hear a rumor from you that you were coming out with something new that's a little heavier cut, and that Last Cut Plus comes into action. So what was the deciding point for that? Was that always an idea? Or did you finally just say, hold on, I think I can go, here, hold my beer?
Yeah. I think it was always like in my back pocket, really. But I wanted to see because I was almost torn between if the Last Cut Plus would knock out the Last Cut. So I had to do some more testing to see if they both had a place in the market, or if I just needed to release the Last Cut Plus as a replacement for the Last Cut. So, but the main difference between the both is that the Last Cut Plus is about 25% more aggressive. So for those with the harder paints, like the Audi and the Volkswagen paints, and even the gel coats, the Plus would be more suited for those situations as opposed to the Last Cut. So after I was able to do some more testing with both, then I was pretty confident that they both had a place on the market. So like as a question, well, presented the question, yes, it is definitely multifunctional. They definitely adapt to the situation and make your life easier, which is what I was really going for.
Well, a lot of people might ask why I need both, and I'll give it a simple answer: is that if you've got the newer GMC truck paints, the Last Cut in a mellow pad is more than enough, because you'll dig into that paint too deep if you're not careful. Same with Tesla, same with Subaru, Porsche. The Last Cut's fine. Now you get in, like we just had a Dodge Ram in training not too long ago. Oh my God, the paint was like rocks. And Last Cut Plus, it was really nice. Did a great job. And here's what I like best about a good product is it allows you to not work. You don't have to muscle through anything. Let the product, the pad and the machine do the work, and that achieved that. So that was a great combo, and I'm definitely excited to test out your upcoming products and so forth. So let's go into some game changer questions. So as far as qualities and skill sets that you've been able to take and collect, and here's a lot of people don't realize, you being military, I've never was active duty, always weekend warrior, but even then, the skill sets and the discipline that, I picked up from even sports, playing football. I was young, being a reserve deputy, being on search and rescue teams for 30 years. Discipline I picked up from the things that I call passions in life have absolutely been one of the biggest attributes of my growth in business. And even the disciplines in skiing. So, Double Black comes from extreme skiing. And we just took our kids on a trip. We skied some pretty intense stuff up in, the central Idaho. Yeah. And the discipline of that is it comes back and plays into business. So what talents, skill sets, and qualities that you've been able to obtain in your life have helped you within the business?
Yeah, I really think that discipline and passion, like those are so closely tied together, because like just being in the military, in the job that I had, no matter how cold it was, no matter how hot it was, you couldn't say, no, it's too hot, I don't feel like going out there today. I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow. That wasn't an option. So I grew up, earlier in my career as, if you get told to do something, all right, do it. Like we own you basically. So you're going to do whatever we say to do. And I kind of took that and put it into my business, because I'm like, if I can use this effort and this discipline to do my job, for the military, why can't I put that same discipline and passion into my own business and myself? So that tied into, the 1, 2, 3 o'clock mornings, trying to get a vehicle done, and then going back to work, at 7, 8 in the morning, or just 15, 20 hours into a vehicle, and you try to stand up and your back hurts, having that discipline to say, hey, you know what, I need to get this job done correctly and not cut any corners, and then the passion to want to see the best output for your efforts. Those two together, once you time together, like your business can go extremely far.
Absolutely. It's, you take it, there's so many, and we've talked about it so many times, there's so many good information out, not just in the detailing industry, but in small business. There's a lot of smart people out there, and people just need to listen. And so I think you see it too, is we see so many, especially in our industry, is there's a lot of business owners that are putting a ton of energy, but you look at them and they're not necessarily putting it into the right targets. They're all over the place. They're kind of like F-22. They're acquiring all these different targets, but the difference is really they're a World War I fighter. They got a machine gun and that's it. And what I mean, guys, I started out with a pea shooter for business. Our family was dead broke. But what I did is I went out and got my foundation built first. Jace, I believe, did it the same way. Then started expanding. And what do you see people, is how do you stay so focused? Because it'd be real easy. I'm sure that you've got man, that was awful. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear it.
It was terrible. So I'm sure it'd be real easy for you to see the success you've had in your two products to go out and launch an entire line, yet you're holding back. And so give me a message of why. How are you staying focused, and what's your reason?
You just got to ask yourself some simple questions. Will it help you in any way if you like go in this direction? Like pick, whatever targets are you going after? You really have to see the value in accomplishing, those goals or whatever it is that you're going after. It's just like, I get like tagged in some forums or whatever, and someone saying to don't use this, use something else. Wasting time on that isn't gonna help me in any way. So I see it and I let it go, and I refocus to something that's actually gonna build my brand or help myself or my family or another business or anyone else around me. So really focus on the positive things, not the negative things that really that you can't change, because some people will always be ignorant. That's just the reality of it. You can't win them all. So I try not to win every battle. I just try to win the battles that matter.
That's brilliant. And so now let's get in before the next question. What do you like to do for fun? Do you have an escape that you enjoy to do that's just something that you can kind of let loose on and kind of get your mind free?
Driving. That's how I clear my mind. I just drive. I mean, like, I think growing up, I've always loved vehicles, and like I said before, we really couldn't afford nice vehicles, when I was growing up. So to me, the ultimate win is being able to buy a vehicle that I enjoy driving, that I just love, And I'm sure. Well, I just bought a Hellcat Red Eye, and that's just a rush, And that's. I mean, I don't spend a lot of money on anything really, but I mean, recently I'm like, you know what? Like, I was just telling my wife, like, we work so hard, saving all of it. It really, like, it's cool saving, yeah, but you got to enjoy some of it,
Amen.
Like, save some and enjoy some. So for me, my release is just to get out and just drive, and that, like, I would, my wife would ask me a question, and I'm like, I have no idea, like, I don't know. And I would just leave. I would drive and come back, and I would just lay them out for them. Like, hey, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that. That's that. It's just my release. We all need to find something that we just love to be able to free the mind and just enjoy life. Like, while we can. I mean, who knows? If you can enjoy life at 60 or 70. Whenever you fully retire, like all that you work for isn't gonna give it away. Pass it on. That's cool, yeah. But you got to enjoy some of it, just a little bit of it, for a little bit.
I already told my youngest daughter we're having this discussion this weekend, and I came back I went over to Southern Utah, and unbelievable. It makes you think for a second, man. Anybody that says there's not a God hasn't seen Southern Utah, because the creation was pretty amazing. But I came back and I told her, she's saying something about inheritance, and I said, let me be really direct with you. There's not going to be anything left. Mom and I are going to go out, and I said, you got a year and a quarter left, and you're going to go on your own, which you should be.
Yeah.
But we're going to go out and do foolish things and have fun and see the world, see the country.
Yep.
So I love that.
Well, I hope Jace is budgeting for speeding tickets too.
Yeah, I have a little fun set aside just in case.
Yeah, exactly it. Did you buy a radar detector yet?
No, I'm actually pretty responsible when it comes to driving. I don't like to take chances, especially now in the military. I'm not trying to lose stripes, so yeah. so I'm still pretty low key when it comes to that.
Yeah, Chris loves going to Vegas. Your old stomping grounds. Chris loves driving to Vegas with me. No, 127, he just, he loves. So this. Because
you're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, Renny.
Got me back?
Yeah, we can kind of hear you. Give it a shot, but you're a little frozen.
More of these problems. Okay.
Yeah, still a little rough. Let's give it a second, see if it comes back. Uh-oh. Now he's totally frozen. Just give it a second. I can Hey,
frozen now. Oh.
He's still connected, but yeah, the internet got a little rough with him. Interesting.
He's frozen now.
Yeah, he's frozen. Hey, Renny, if you could hear me, maybe just jump off and jump back on again with the same link. See if it helps. So, yeah, he could hear me, so that was good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll get him right. We'll get him right back. I don't even know which one he was going to ask you. I'd ask you.
What was that?
I would ask you the question. I'm not sure which one he was headed towards.
Oh.
That's all right. 700 horsepower, though, right? Is that the number on that thing?
It was actually 797. So, yeah.
797. There we go. He's back.
Am I back?
There we go. Yep.
You're back. You're good.
Good. That was weird. Hey, so as far as discipline goes, because you've got a busy life, you've got family, you've got a day job, so to say, and then you've got your company. Yep. Balance is going to be hugely important. So how do you balance?
Yeah, that is huge. I mean, like whenever we moved from Vegas to Clovis, I mean, business wise, it seemed as though it was going to be the worst thing in the world. Because in Vegas, I was busy, but moving to Clovis, we had to slow down, and that really gave us a chance to reset and reorganize things the way we needed to, so we could have family time. So it seemed as though it was something negative in the beginning, but it was really the best thing that ever happened to us, because I mean, now I was able to spend time with the family because I was, scheduling myself, time off. I'm just as busy as I was in Vegas. I never thought it would happen either, but just as busy. But now I schedule family time. Even this recent trip that we went on. I mean, it's been years since we went on an actual family trip, but it is so important to really factor in that family time, because doing it on your own and not having that support system, or having your wife look at your business as something negative or something that they can't support because it's taking away everything that they love. I mean, that's just a terrible recipe for success. So if you want that success, you really have to balance what's important and who is going to be behind you to allow you to push forward to succeed in whatever you choose to in the future.
Yeah, well said. Because if you push too hard and you don't balance it out, you're not going to have anybody behind you, and you're going to be a mess. And so it is a balancing act. So well said. So hey, lastly, any words of advice? So a lot of different people watching with 20 years of experience, people watching that are just going into their business, maybe even the hopes of going in business. What would you tell them?
Yeah, don't let your past determine your future. I mean, I came to the U.S. with $150 in my pocket, and I mean, look where I am now. I mean, I'm still not the richest person in the world, but I'm comfortable. I built a respectable brand. And you really can't be afraid to fail. I mean, we've made mistakes, and we're all gonna make mistakes. I mean, me and my wife made a $50,000 mistake, but we learn from those mistakes. Like that, I think that is the biggest thing that you can get out of anything, is what you learn from whenever you fail, because you will fail at some point, but it's what you take out of it is what's important. And just believe in yourself, invest in yourself. I mean, even if you don't have money to invest in yourself, invest your time. Read, educate yourself, try stuff. Figure something out. Just putting that time into yourself could really reveal so much about you that you really had no idea that you could ever achieve. So just believe in yourself, and push forward. Treat every day like it's the first ever, and have that intensity that you had the first day for it. I mean, that will keep you on track for success. Just putting everything you have into it every single day, and not thinking that you're better than anybody else. Because I look at myself as a regular guy. I gave up my phone number. Like, call me. Ask me a question. I'll help you if I can. I still think you should do some stuff on your own, like learn stuff for yourself. But if I can help, I mean, I'll absolutely help.
It's pretty special, man. It's pretty special. So hey, how do people find you and the products on social media and so forth?
Yeah, so online is www.tldproducts.com. That's my website. And then on social media, my detailing page is at the last detail NV on Instagram. And then there's a specific page for my products at TLD Products on Instagram as well. And I also have a Facebook page as well that I share things on. But yeah, I mean, even if you have any questions, I mean, find me on Facebook, send me a message. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that I love about having this business, is being able to communicate with so many different people. I mean, I will answer all of your questions. Like, it may take me a while sometimes, depending on my workload, but I will get back to it. I will answer it, and just reach out. Like, I really like, it's nothing. I enjoy like answering questions and helping people. So just feel free to reach out. I mean, that's
awesome, dude. Hey, it's been an honor. And again, there's so many takeaways from this, even for myself, is that, here's a guy that went after it with pure passion and discipline, and he made it. And you know what? Whatever your battle is, whatever your struggle is, slow down, enjoy the ride, and then you know what? Make it happen. Make it happen. And so, hey, Jace, we want to thank you so much for coming on. Everybody go check him out. And again, we're big fans, and we want to thank you for being here, for answering these questions very openly. And again, we want to thank PNS Products. Go check them out as our podcast sponsor. And then just Jace, follow him and his products. He's got a lot of activities, and you can't support a better guy and a better family.
Thank you, Renny.
Hey, you guys take care. Chris, we'll talk to you soon. We got to plan a trip. That red eye sounds fun. I want to get something. I honestly want to be able to take and have to strap a diaper onto Chris.
You'll have to. We'll have to bring some carpet bomber and everything else with us.
That's exactly. All right, guys. Hey, man. Everybody else, have a blessed rest of the week. Jace, you take care. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you, Renny.
Talk to you next time. God bless.
Thank you, Renny. Thanks, Chris. We appreciate the opportunity.